Good morning, evening. I say morning instinctively because I just woke up. Um, I wanted to talk about Poe a little bit, um, and but it's in a larger context, so it's not a Poe video. It's so good. Sorry about the sound. I didn't have my mic deployed. Mm-hmm. What are you doing? This is actually very sweet. I'm not usually up this time. I think he really expected me to be asleep, so he's a little excited. You're a good kitty. He's purring real hard. You're so good. I wanted to talk about Poe a little bit. I didn't play hardly any today, and oh, my character's in a good place, and I found a decent like workflow kind of thing. Made some realizations about market investment and gambling and things in a Poe context, and it's one of those things where I hate being right. Um, you basically play the game in good faith and you will be punished for it. And I now can't unsee some things. Two videos I saw recently, and I know one was recently published. He's cutting my head off. Let's see. Oh, shit. Sorry about that, buddy. The thing keeps sliding. I'm not in the direction of gravity. It's very weird. Oh, this way. Okay, no. Apparently I hit some kind of button. Boy, oh boy, everything's so fragile. Okay, app info. Stop. Okay. Open. All right, now back there. And I got a message. Do they have a pressure sensor on my chair? Family sends me crazy messages. I love them, but they're crazy. So I guess I came by my craziness honest. Anyway, so yeah, um, the thing I was right about was that basically you need to play the market, and I saw two videos recently. One was a guy dropping 8 mirrors at once in Sanctum. It's just insanity. And he's a famous streamer and he didn't really appreciate it and he made it a big thing. So not only did he drop 8 mirrors, he made a bunch of real money from, an event that he captured. And also, I watched another video by this guy, Belton, who is ridiculously wealthy constantly in the game because he's a real market manipulating master type guy. And he's like, here's how I made 320 div profit assembling these pieces. And he's like, so he's doing something in the game, and he's basically just exploiting a million, like, unseen players. Like he's buying something and selling something and doing a thing and basically giving way less than stuff is worth. And, the standard capitalist story. And what bothers me about that is, like, on a much smaller scale, something like that happened for me. Like, I was playing the game and playing Blight. Yes. Oh, you're a kitty. What? Did I touch your tail? Do you not want your tail touched? No. No tail touchings for you. No tail touchings. Hyper baby. So I'm playing the game and end up with a bunch of chaos, which is like the dollars, whatever, or the pennies. I don't know, quarters that lead to dollars. I don't know, because they can't just have gold, because the GGG the company that makes Poe has run with this concept of points instead of currency. I mean, they do that in their shop too. You buy points and then you spend points, but to disguise prices, and each point is 10 cents. Which is interesting because they're New Zealand. It's why peg it to the American dollar? Anyway, I guess that's one of those pieces of evidence that it's just a big financial scam. It's a big casino. They know what to sell their loot crates in and who they're selling them to. It's like, I know, I'll make a game that exploits rich Americans. Because, there's a lot of those. Well, now there's like 5, and they own everything. But so that's who I'll make my game for. But I have to lure slaves too. That's where we're going. Because it's like all these market manipulation activities require the labor of millions and millions of more casual, less skilled players doing boring stuff for tiny fractions of currency, which really is like the equivalent of, the Venezuelan sweatshop worker that makes 3 cents a day making your socks, right? Or the migrant laborer that's like picking fruit by hand so that you can have a truck full, and make money in your grocery store and all that stuff. And I don't know, man. It just kind of soured me on play for the day. I'm like, every time I log in, it's like, okay, I'm going to load a Blight. I'm going to do all right. I'll maybe get a couple gold oils. I'll get a silver oil or something. But it's 5 minutes every time, and I have to work the whole time. Like, you get an underground river, which is just a line, right? And you pay a little extra to get them in bulk. So, it's a consistent thing. And that's me exploiting other people right there. Because it's like, it didn't drop for me. I'm not cycling through blight maps. I'm cherry picking. I'm spending a little bit of the money I make to so that's a thing. It's the first time I really bought one particular kind of content, but I had to. I committed myself to sticking to one build. I was tired of making 19 characters. So far, so good. I've only got the one. I've gotten different gear for it, and I've retreated a little bit here and there. Once massively at the beginning, and then, more fine tunes as I got better gear. But I'm doing this thing, and you tell yourself, because it's an underground river and just a line, that I can just plunk down a tower, or a cluster, and wait. Well, it doesn't work that way. It never works that way. It's designed not to work that way. What actually happens is the towers are put in crappy places, and the monsters have different mods, and you're constantly having to spin plates. You have to go manage the towers, and kill the things, and watch out for the mod, and oh no, it might kill me, and it's 5 minutes of gameplay. And that's fun, I guess, right? But the whole reason I'm there is I'm trying to advance my character and make money so that I can advance my character. And essentially the goal is to trivialize content and print money for my guild so I can finally be Santa. Because that's really why I went here in the first place. That's why I made a guild. It's what I used to do in Diablo 2, and I used bots to do that, and everybody did it, and it was fine, and people still loved the stuff. You know, I ended up with crazy gear, and I give it to people who don't know how to bot, don't have the patience for it, and that was, I played a meta game, right? I wasn't exploiting people. I was exploiting a machine that exploited the machine, and then I made people happy. And I can't fucking do that in Poe, and it makes me sick. I'm not allowed to write scripts. I'm not allowed to do botting. And I'm like, okay, fine, it's your rules. The game has minions and stuff, and I'll just get good at the game. I have a bunch of time, and I'll play the game because I have a bunch of time, and I'll share what I win, and I do, you know. But it's balanced versus people that drop 8 mirrors in a sanctum, and it's balanced versus people like Belton that, you know, print divines in their hideouts at 350 an hour. And so all the parts are priced like that, you know, because it's a market and it's a bunch of scammers, and you have TFT hoarding up all the locks, you know, 97% of it a super expensive currency, and they can literally just dictate prices because they bought it all. It's like those brothers that bought all the silver in America and then just started selling it back, making money. It's like fucking OPEC. See, it gets real. And that's why that's why this isn't just a Poe video, you know, and it never is. I'm always talking about the same thing. It's always like billionaire exploitation news and, you know, collaborator drama. It's always the same thing, and lies and propaganda. And, you know, it causes me to spiral. I start thinking about this stuff. I start reading about this stuff. Stuff happens. And I'm just saying, oh, Jesus. And I want to just play the game. I want to just play a game. But I can't. They all feel hollow. And they're all underdeveloped. And leaving a dungeon doesn't close it. You know? And that goes back to the next main point, which is these things make me upset because, like a game, because there's no accountability and I don't trust it. Like, there's some talk about cheating. You know, people are like, that guy that got his 8 mirror drop, he seems to have inside help. Like, some people, I'm told that some of his audience believe that he might have some kind of inside track with GGG. And I'm like, you know, rationally, I want to just be like, conspiracy theory, whatever, dismiss it. However, I have no way of knowing. Because it's an opaque system, because it's a closed server, because the code is closed, there's a little bit of dynamiting possible, but I have no way of knowing. I don't know what kind of relationships, you know, GGG has with Tencent, with this guy's family, maybe. I don't know. Right? It's really hard to say. It's impossible to say dispositively. I can't be like, say with certainty, no, he's not cheating, you're being silly. It's just one of those things. You know, it's a numerical aberration. Shit happens, you know, out of millions of players, and he's good at what he does or whatever. You know, it can happen. It was going to happen to somebody, and it was probably going to happen to somebody on stream. I can see that argument. I can make that argument. I'm inclined to believe that argument. However, I don't know for sure, and I can't know for sure. And if, you know, I'm ultimately complaining about policy in a video game, and it's like there's no mechanism for policy. The only mechanism for policy I have is take it or leave it. And that's nothing. You know, I can talk, but it's therapy, effectively. Like, I'm not going to change anything. I can't change anything. Let's say I make a hyper popular video. The entire Poe community agrees with me, and they are asking GGG for a thing. Will they get that thing? No. Not if GGG doesn't want to give it. Period. It's theirs. It's their sandbox. Ultimate power and balance. It's their sandbox. You know, and people will talk about boycott and everything. That's bullshit. People don't boycott. It is never effective. And that's because they don't need all of us happy. They need their whales happy. They need a tiny minority that spends a bunch of that brings the majority of their money in. That's what they need. Those people they might listen to if they organized into a cabal. And that's just like the real world, right? Like the three billionaires that own more than the whole middle class now, right? Who do you think the government listens to more? It's like I could prove it's not us and it's never been us. And this is just more of that. So I guess the thing that is really annoying me is that the real world is following me in. Just when I think I'm out, they lure me back in, right? I go play Poe to escape this crap. And it follows me. The billionaires follow me and ruin my time. And it's not, ruined. Like, I'm still able to have fun, right? My character, like I said, is doing okay. But, oh my God, is it scrub core? I've died like 700 times, I don't do the market manipulation. I don't join crazy parties, and I can't assemble one. I can't organize my guild for shit. I love them. They're great people. They do not want to be organized. I put up a poll and stuff trying to I got one vote against out of 50 people, People saw it. They just didn't vote, didn't care. I'm like, all right, fine. Hey, will of the people. I'm a hedonist. Apparently that idea doesn't bring you pleasure. And, I get it. Who would listen to me? I'm not happy. And it's, I have no, I can't prove I'm right about anything really. You'd have to go back and look at my other stuff and analyze it for predictions. And I don't do that. And who else would bother? I'm kind of hoping that maybe the AI eventually I could be like, pour over my work and tell me where I was right and where I was wrong, more specifically where I was right. I want positive predictions that I made, and I would like predictions that I made that you can prove I was wrong about. That'll be interesting. But yeah, it's just I just wanted to talk about that before interruptions, chores, drama, headaches, whatever. Shit happens. Thanks for watching.